Welcome to the Lush Mind podcast. I'm Laurie.
I'm Keisha.
And we're the Gospel Twins.
So we talk about all things to grow, flourish, and prosper in life.
So come with us. Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Lush Mind podcast. I'm Laurie.
And I'm Keisha.
And we're the Gospel Twins.
So people were, giving us feedback on last week's episode, and it seemed to really kind of be a topic that everybody was interested in. So we're going to dive into a little bit of a part two, kind of on the hot topics of what dating is like right now in 2025.
Yes, and some of the modern questions that we are getting. So we're going to add those to, I guess, the list.
Yeah. All right. Elle, you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. So in dating nowadays, what ways does social media affect how people date or how they perceive their potential partner?
I mean, I think this one's a pretty straightforward answer. You know what I mean? Like, social media has a huge impact. A lot of the time we put our best foot forward when it comes to social media.
Yep.
And a lot of the people we see on social media sometimes aren't even as real. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're fit, they look good, they're this, they're that, compared to, the average day person. So I think sometimes it may change someone's perspective when it comes to now dating online. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I can speak for myself.
Yeah.
I might see a guy who looks okay as an average guy. You know what I mean? But then when I think back on social media and there's other guys who are working out, they're in the gym, they're doing this, then I might start thinking, maybe it's a little bit different from what I'm seeing on Insta. I don't let it change how I feel. I'm open to dating, people who may not look 100% because I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? But I definitely believe that what I see online versus maybe what they see online, it might change their perspective. Okay. Think about some of the Instagram girls, the model girls, all those kind of people as well.
Okay. Honestly, I get where you're coming from. You don't want to compare the two, to really allow it to overshadow kind of what you're looking for in terms of the dating and the person you're dating.
Yeah.
I think for me, how I look at social media is kind of like a tool where I can verify somebody.
Okay.
So, for example,
that's a good point.
Even if you meet on a dating app, right? What's your Instagram? Let me see your profile. Because you get a little bit more of who this person is, like their personality, what they're into. You kind of get a full visual sheet of who they are and what they look like.
That's a good point.
So I like that you can use social media to reference it, to be okay, I didn't know you had a dog. I'm allergic to dogs. Things that they might not put on a dating profile, but you might catch in their Instagram profile, kind of helps you vet if this person is serious or what they're about, or just a little bit more about them, So I think social media is good for that aspect. I think too, also, there was something else I was going to add to that when it comes to social media. I think it's just more like a due diligence, really, is what it comes down to.
I mean, that's a good way of looking at it, where it's yes, normally you might match with someone online, whatever the case is. And then typically the next questions are what's your social media? What's your handles, whatever, right? So that is a good point where you can kind of use it to vet people. Most times you do see a little bit more into their life and what they're about, which is good. Often I feel like it really does give you a good insight if this person is legit or not. Because I'll give you an example. One time I was chatting to somebody briefly, and I was oh, what's your Insta? Or I think it was even on their page or something. So I went to the Instagram just to see what I want, And I could see on the page he had a baby. So I said, okay. The baby looked fresh. You know what I'm saying? Fresh. You know what I'm saying? Just baked, honestly. I said, okay, not everyone leads with having children. I understand, even though the profile said no kids, whatever. Yeah. Keep scrolling. I see the baby mama and him. And they have the pictures where the baby's in the stomach and they're doing that little couple picture with the pregnant belly. Yeah. So in my head, I'm this is recent. The baby just came out and not even a few scrolls down, the baby was in the belly and you're taking family pictures on your social media. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm looking more, and I see another one where it's him and I guess the girl or the wife are cheersing and they look like they're in some nice island. Wow. And I'm bro, you have a social media account that's telling us your life, which is, how it is. Yeah. But then you have a dating app talking about you're looking for a long-term relationship and you're looking for this and that. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. So I think sometimes it's almost like you could see a lot into the person for sure.
Yeah.
And some of these guys, like they're not even trying to hide it,
Yeah.
like at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that one was like a shock for us. Like, no, I really like, and that was when we were just kind of getting back to dating, where I was like, man, like I have to really be careful because some of these people lie and they'd have no shame.
Yeah. So I think it's always good to ask for the Instagram, ask for their page just to get a little bit more insight. And also too, on the flip side, like if I add you on Instagram and like you have 2 pictures and they're from 1999 or whatever, then it's like, it makes me actually take a step back. Like as much as, we may be conversing and like talking on the dating app, if you don't have any pictures, it's like, who are you? You know, especially in this day and age, which I get not everybody's on social media. A lot of people have
Instagram and stuff, but they only have a profile picture. Like I've noticed a lot of guys do that where they just use it to scroll.
Yeah.
But I do get your point too. Where it's like,
it doesn't give me any like confirmation, any
of
security.
Who you are.
Yeah. Especially in this day and age where people are catfishing, people are doing the most, like, you're not really helping the case of me wanting to meet you because it's like there's no verification. There's no way for me to even see, like, you know? And also, too, another way I would use social media is like, who are you following? What type of accounts are you interested in?
Yeah.
Like, yes, that's a little bit more investigative.
I do it. I'm not gonna, I ain't shying away from it. I have no shame in it. Like, if I follow you and you follow me back, I'm gonna see who else you're following. Like, I'm just gonna glance. I can't help it. I want to know what you like. I want to know, you know, what you're about. And sometimes when you click to see what they're following, like you realize like we are not on the same page. Like, you know, so I think sometimes it's not, if you put it out there, and I think that's just how it is, even with podcasts, anything. If you're putting it out there and you're putting yourself out there, people are gonna want to dig a little bit deeper to know who you are. You know what I mean?
So it's real. Like you have to know who they're following because if they're following only big booties, like I'm not about that life. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, but not sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not interested. So it gives you a real insight to the person. Like, so social media can be used as a good tool in the dating sense because, again, we're in a day and age where people are posting their life 24/7. So it's like you could look at their story to say, like, what are they doing today? Like, where were they? Like, not in a stalky way, but just kind of be like, okay, they went to this restaurant. Like, that's cool. Looks like they like to go and try new things. Or, you know, if they're playing basketball and there's, you know, you see a story of them on the court, like, okay, they're active. Like, these are little things that you may not get to see them in their element because on a date, it's just you talking to them or you're at a restaurant or whatever. But if you see they're into sports or whatever, it's like, okay, like you get to see another side of the person.
Yeah, so, it's really, it's your identity on, you know, online, right? What you're putting on social media, Instagram, etc. You're telling a story of who you are. So we are going to read that story. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Exactly. And those who, you know, put their best foot forward, cool. But sometimes you also can see the baby mamas on the
on the beach,
catch the scandals happening. So social media, I use it as that
kind of tool for just getting to know them. That's a good point.
So, okay. So, what are some red flags you think are more obvious now?
Okay.
Versus red flags. Okay, hold on. I'll break it down into 2 questions because it's a little tricky. So what are some red flags you think are more obvious now in the dating scene?
Compared to before?
Compared to before.
I mean, a red flag's a red flag. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But things have definitely changed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think before, I don't think I dived as much into things before. So maybe I wasn't catching the red flags. But now, like, a red flag for me, for example, is like, if they say something that's different from what's in their pictures or on their profile. For example, if you say you have no kids. Yeah. But then we're on the phone talking, or I look on your Instagram and it slips out that you have a child, which again, like, there's really no shame in it. Yeah. But your page said no. So if I find oh, I don't smoke, but then they have a picture with a cigarette. And it's like, okay, but you say you don't smoke, but your main profile picture has you with a cigarette. Yeah. It doesn't add up. Yeah. And like, to me, that, like, if I can see a lie just from viewing your profile, like, that to me is a huge red flag. And I think that goes back to before. But now I almost feel like it's a little bit more like you almost have to really look and see. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think, because I feel like technology is a little bit more
advanced.
And it's also a little bit more used nowadays in dating. Like, dating apps were there before too, but because of social COVID, we now use social media and those things a little bit more than we did before. Because before, people were outside actually living their life, meeting people versus now. So I think some of the red flags, to your point, like that weren't really there back then that they are now is like catching people using like the AIs.
Catfishing more. Catfishing was before, but like now you can really, really trick somebody. Like some of these filters that like girls are using, it doesn't even look like the person.
On videos too, like they can talk and like everything's moving, like it puts lashes on you, makeup on you. Like it really is a serious
Changes
thing.
your lipstick, everything.
Lip size, it really
lip
can
size,
make you look like a complete different person.
And then obviously you see the person in real life, and the guy's like, "Who are you?" Like, I'm looking for Rhonda. You know what I'm saying?
Not La Rhonda.
Not La Rhonda.
So it is one of those things where I feel like technology is used a lot more and it's harder to detect. So those, anytime you see an inconsistency or anytime you see it's like that picture looks a little too AI-ish, like it's a red flag.
I'm not a huge fan of like guys like, and I know guys may feel the same when it comes to like using the filters and stuff. Like I try my best not to use too much. I'm not gonna act like I don't airbrush a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest. Like sometimes the cameras already have it in them. You know what I mean? It's not my fault, But like I think sometimes like when I look at a guy's profile and like they have the bunny ears and like, like those kind of filters.
Yeah, that's
and like the little green eyes, like I just want to see your real eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like to see if there's anything going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now I see like a emerald green eyes with bunny ears. Like, I think for me, that's a red flag when I see those kind of filters. Everyone has a little airbrushing. I'm not judging.
Yeah.
But it's like those kind of ones.
When you
take
know
it
to the extreme,
And
it's different now because, again, before guys weren't using Snapchat filters. Guys weren't using filters, period. But in this day and age where online is your first impression of getting to that next stage, or even a girl swiping right to you and accepting it. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have to put your best foot forward, and
which is fair.
Us girls, we have the hair, we have the makeup, we have the nails. Like we have a lot of things that we can use to make ourselves look like prettier. Where guys, unfortunately, like it's very limited. So it's a tough one, but when the filter's too extreme, then it's like, okay, like now you're kind of wilding, you know? So I would say that's kind of like newer red flags versus before. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that can come off
that have changed. I feel like a lot are the same. You know what I'm saying?
A
like
lot
the
of them
thirst
are the
trap
same.
pictures. True. Like those ones I think are red flag for me. It's like if I'm scrolling to like get to know you and see your profile, and like you have like a shirt off and your pants are all the way down. Like it's a thirst trap. You know what I'm saying? Like to me it's like, well, what's your intentions? You know what I'm saying? Like, and vice versa. Like if you're a guy and you're looking at a girl's profile and her breasts are out, like that, I don't know if you're gonna take her to mom, you know what I'm saying? Or to church, right? Like, because let's be real. So I think sometimes, yes, they know what it is. Everybody knows what it is, but I can't take you serious if you say you're looking for marriage, but all your pictures are you half naked.
Yeah. And I think to your point, like they're the same red flags, but I think they're more exposed now because of social media and because of like online and technology and that kind of thing.
Exactly. It's almost like evolved. The red flags have gotten bigger.
Which ones have evolved? Exactly. Because before nobody was going to be like just posting a half naked picture or whatever, bikini picture just for the sake of it. But now because it's so like welcomed in this world, people are having the OnlyFans and people are having certain
sex
things
like kind of thing.
Where it's like you're making money off these things. Like people are now more into it, and like you can spot that now quicker than trying to wait 3 years into the relationship to find out this man has a whole nother life doing pictures or doing whatever, you know?
100%.
So it kind of exposes the red flags, I would say, now in this day and age easier.
Yeah. That's a good point. All right, next question. You said there was a part 2, but I don't know if we answered it.
Part 2 kind of tied into that. So Okay. Do you feel that expectations for the first few dates are changing? So people are caring more about quality time, meaningful conversations than the big fancy gestures. And I know we touched on it a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like we touched on it a little bit in our last episode. Like, definitely, yes, things have changed. And I think we know why. You know what I'm saying? Like, the quality time is huge nowadays. Like, people are busy. People are traveling. People have lives. So it's like when they get together with their person or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, they want to actually just spend some quiet time getting to know them, whether it's over coffee or a walk in the park or whatever.
Yeah. I think, too, we did touch on it, but I'm going to touch on, like, the positive aspect of it as well. I think, for me, for example, like, I went on a date recently, and, like, we actually did, like, an arcade-type vibe.
Okay.
And it was, like, it wasn't minimalistic, but it was, like, simple, I guess is the way I would put it.
Yeah.
And, like, I haven't done that since I was a kid. Like, I didn't have my shoes off and, like, running around and jumping. Like, I forgot how that feeling was. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes the simple minimalistic approach in nowadays actually kind of tunes out the noise, lets you kind of actually get to know that person one-on-one a little bit more.
But is that minimalistic though?
It's not minimalistic. It's more simple is what I'm saying. Like kind of like going back to just like simpler times where it's like you're not trying to do like a big 5-star. Like you're choosing days like, or if you went to, for example, like down near the waterfront, like walking on Lake Shore, getting some ice cream, like it's minimalistic, but because again the scenery's there, like certain things.
I feel like I get where you're coming from. I don't think I would say it was simple. I would say like, because like I know you told me about that date, like because it was well planned. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it was well planned.
It was planned in a way where you guys could still get to know each other. Where it's like it's not like you had to really just go for a quiet walk. You guys were still able to get to know each other and like vibe together with like the games and the different activities to see who you are like in that element.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I think it actually was more complex and like in a strategy wise, like to really kind of see who you are when it comes to thinking and critical thinking and having fun. Are you someone who can let their hair down and have fun? Or are you someone who it's like, oh, my nail, like I'm not gonna like do this. You know what I mean? Like, so I actually think that's a level up from the simple basic like walks at the park or coffee.
It's true. It's level up. And I'm not saying it's like simple in like a bad sense.
Yeah.
I was just saying simple, like it brought me back to like a simpler time. Like as a kid. That's what I mean. Like where it's like I forgot about those things. Like I haven't done that in years. So to me,
so
it was
you're
like
able to like let go and just like have like a free mind.
Yeah.
I understand.
So then it's like you really kind of like get to know the person, like to what your point is, like how we are competitive wise and stuff like that. But so that's what I mean by simple, like because it wasn't minimal for sure.
Okay.
It was just simple, where like
a simpler time. I understand.
Yeah, like where I was like, wow, like so it was creative. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So,
yeah.
I think if guys, if they don't have the funds or whatever, but they have that creativity, it kind of like really will help where it's still like a date where it may seem like a simpler thing or it may seem like a more chill vibe, but you actually are getting to know the person in a different setting. You know what I'm saying? Or going for a bike ride. Like it may seem simple, but you're actually, again, getting that activity in, but you're getting to know them. You're riding along a scenery route.
I mean, bike rides, like anybody watching, if you're thinking bike ride as a first date, please just pause yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't really talking and then you're sweating and out of breath. Like,
unless, if nobody's saying you're speed racing.
But to try and bike riding and then you're falling over, like, because you're both trying to pedal slow so you can talk to each other. It's just, don't do it.
It's more for the advance, but it's just like,
Yeah.
Those type of creativity, like, I think if they could incorporate the two in this modern dating would be ideal.
Okay. Well, I mean, big ups to you. And like, it's nice that you're getting out and you're having dates and all that stuff. So I love that for you. And
honestly, it was probably the best first date I've had ever, if I have to be honest, So
it sounded super creative,
it was
so definitely big ups to him.
So it's like, again, like you see how the guy's intentions is, you see how their characteristic is. Are they playful? Like, are they like, flexible? So it was really nice.
No, that's good.
So I'll put a little pin in that.
Yes, exactly.
See how it goes. Okay. So how does mental health and emotional safety factor more into how people date now versus before? And do you think, this is part 2, do you think people are more open about therapy and like things that they've experienced in life?
Yeah. So based on my current dating experience, I definitely think it's a lot more, they're a lot more open now than before. And it does have a huge imprint and factor when it comes to dating. Because, for example, like if somebody is trying to date and they're not emotionally stable or don't have emotional intelligence or mental health, you know what I mean? It can really affect the relationship, you know what I mean? And it can affect how you get to know that person. I remember like recently, like again, like just, because you match a couple people. I remember both guys saying like, oh, like, I went to therapy and on Monday. And like someone else like, oh, I went to therapy on Monday. I'm like, wow, like look like all the men are in therapy on Monday because it just seemed like everybody's in it,
Mondays for men.
Monday men's day, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, like it's a good thing that you can be honest and transparent and say, yeah, like I'm in therapy, I go weekly, whatever. But like I also sometimes think, okay, like it's good that you're in therapy, but sometimes it could be like, are you just into like just starting therapy and you have a lot that you have to resolve?
Okay.
Or is it like, okay, you've been in it and like you feel like you're healing from it? Because I think like there's a difference too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I still will take it in and like no judgment, but I also want to know, well, what's your mental health at now?
Yeah.
How do you currently feel now? Yes, you're in therapy and that's great.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you're able to manage a relationship mentally?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And emotionally and all the things that come with it.
Yeah. I think it definitely is looked at a lot more now in dating. And I think before I probably wouldn't even have asked those questions about
No, they were
emotional
never talked
availability,
about, yeah.
about therapy, about like what was your past like, your childhood. Like those things were out the window for me before.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't asking those questions, where now, because I feel like I'm doing the self-work to grow, and I'm trying to be better, and I'm trying to, you know, get closer to God, and I'm trying to level up in life because I'm at that stage where I want to hopefully find somebody to settle down. Now it's like I'm looking for those same things too, to see if we're on the same page. Like even just in the emotional availability, like are you okay even having the deeper conversations?
Yeah.
Or if I say something that upsets you, or vice versa, like how do you handle conflict? How do you, you know, handle stress of the day? Like
Exactly. Do you bring it home, or are you like are you bringing it to the date? You know what I'm saying? Or are you canceling the date because you aren't feeling good?
Yeah. Or if we're on a date and the waiter gets your food wrong or something, are you snapping on them? Like those type of things you have to look into and look out for, because it shows you kind of that person's emotional state. Like, can they handle and control like their emotions when they come up? So
or sometimes it's also the opposite.
Okay, like they suppress it?
Yeah,
or,
because I feel like there's situations where like you could be on a date or whatever with somebody, and like even if something doesn't happen, but like you tell them something like, oh, you know, something happens, it's just like a family member or something about your past, that's something that's hurtful.
Got you.
And they're not even able to respond in a proper manner, or like they don't take it in, or they just
Say
have
like,
a serious face.
I'm so sorry that
not
happened.
even like, yeah,
something.
exactly.
Okay.
Being able to even manage those kind of situations. Sometimes they're just blank face, or it's all about them. And that can also be another like, you know, red flag, as a sense like, yes, someone could be overly emotional, but sometimes they could be non-emotional at all. And that's still not good either.
Yeah. Because it kind of shows you again, like how that person was brought up. Like, were they always
suppressed or whatever?
Yeah, told as a kid, like, oh, don't say too much, or, oh, you know, be quiet. Those things play into people as they grow into adults. So, because that's something that meshes with your personality. Like, even if it's not a bad thing, like, you have to ask yourself, like, is this person too quiet for me?
Exactly.
Like, I need somebody who's able to communicate. I need somebody who, you know, wants to kind of share their thoughts on a situation.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm asking them, oh, I don't know, it's okay, whatever. Like, no, I'm actually trying to see, like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Like, what, you know? And the therapy piece, I think, is important for sure.
It is definitely,
you
a good
know,
thing.
because if you're spending time, you're spending money, you're going to see somebody, like that
heal
shows
your
that
brain.
you actually value yourself enough to actually want to make a difference. And I think that's not something that's talked about in the community enough across all people. You know what I mean? Young, old, black, white. We all should have like some form of therapy where you're able to self-reflect, take a look at yourself and be like, am I okay? Because we may think we're okay, but the reality is like there's a lot of things that maybe we've just buried that we don't realize that will come to the surface when you're dealing in a relationship.
Exactly.
So I think, you know, it definitely is something that's more of a conversation now as I'm dating, because you want to know long term, is this somebody that can be a husband, be a father? Like, you don't want to pass on things generationally to kids because you didn't deal with it. And we've all experienced it with our parents. So it's one of those things where it's like, are we able to move forward with that? So, yeah. It's the most important thing, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Which is good that it's becoming a conversation. Okay.
What's our next question? So what's our next question?
Our next question is, what does the role of finance and sustainability play in picking dates / partners?
I mean, that's huge. You know, like, I have to be honest. Like, I can't even sugarcoat it. It's huge, you know? Like, I think it's a hard one where if you feel like you're established and, you know, you want to go on a date with somebody, but they don't have the finances to go on the date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or even like you want to travel, you want to do something and they can't do it. So I think that kind of can like decrease your growth with the person sometimes. Stability is huge. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not having like that full-time job anymore, or, you know, you don't have somewhere stable to be and stay at, like, that can affect dating. Because how are you going to go on a date with somebody if you don't even have anywhere to watch a movie, or, you know, you don't have a reliable car, or you don't have enough money to pay for the date? Like all of that stuff is going to affect the relationship at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If it was a situation where it's like you're dating the person for like a little bit of time and then they fall into a situation where they, their job changes or their house or whatever, you obviously can try and mitigate through it, but it still will have some kind of toll on the relationship.
Yeah, I think so. And I agree with what you're saying 100%. I think in the beginning stages of dating, like you're really trying to see, are we compatible?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, one person may be a little bit further along, kind of like what we talked about, but are you at least on the same ladder? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I may be a step or two ahead of you, but like, are you at least climbing? Are you at least working? Are you at least trying to grow to get to something?
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking anybody because at the end of the day, it is hard times out there and
it is.
Everybody's going through their own struggle, but stability doesn't always have to mean like you're rich or you're well off, or it's just really kind of like what Laurie said, like, do you have a place to lay your head at night? Like, do you have, like, how do you get from A to B? Like, whether, even if it's not a car, like, how are you getting around? Like, just so I'm aware, because if I'm the one driving now and I have to drive to all the dates, like, I have to now ask myself, like, is that something I want to do?
Yeah, because you'll be driving an hour to go meet somebody.
Exactly.
Because they don't drive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, or they have roommates, so it's like, how are you going to chill?
Yeah.
Like just little things that can definitely impede on getting to know the person.
Yeah.
And like, for me, like, I like, so there's Stefan Speaks. Some people might know about the podcast and the guy Stefan Speaks. So I like to watch his stuff because I find like he hits the nail on the head with a lot of relationship and things like that.
Yeah.
And he always says, it's like, if you don't have money to date, you shouldn't date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have money to take a girl out on a date, then what are you doing dating people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's a fair statement. Like, you have to still, again, it's not about riches, but you have to still have some kind of funds if you want to go even have a coffee date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't take her to Tim Hortons every single day because it's $2 for a coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like, eventually she's going to catch on like, yo, something's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, it's just one of those ones.
And again, if you explain, like, I'm in a season right now, like, I am building, like, you know what, I may live with my parents right now, but I'm working towards this.
Exactly.
And, like, I have a savings. And, like,
or maybe you had to move back in with your
year.
parents for some kind of reason.
Because it happens more than you think.
It happens a lot
like,
in the season.
A few people I've talked to was that was their situation.
Yeah,
and
they
I'm
had
like,
to move back home.
I can't knock it. I'm like, if I could live at home right now, I would fully be at home. Because
if you have to, you know what I'm saying?
You know, but sometimes it is financially, like, strategic. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a place where your parents, and you can save and, like, invest your money in stocks or invest it in real estate until you're ready. Because if I don't have a partner right now, why am I spending $2,000 on an apartment if I can now pocket that $2,000 and do something else with it? You know, so again, at least you could show that, hey, I have the credit, I have the job to get an apartment if we get to that level. Yeah. So you don't have to worry that I'm going to be at home forever or whatever. Give me some kind of plan, give me some kind of insight to why you're where you're at. So I get it, I can understand, because I'm not going to knock it if you're on a hustle or
life
you're
is
doing
life.
something. You know what I mean? So to me, it's not like a bad thing, but like, explain
transparency.
Be transparent. Be open. Like, why? You know what I mean?
Exactly. I
may have things that you may think like I should be further along too, and then I can explain to you, well, I did this instead, or I transitioned here, and that's why I'm this. You know? So it is important for sure to have some form of stability, even mentally, which goes again into the financially. Like, at least if you're able to hold down a 9 to 5 and you're not bouncing from job to job, like, those are steps where it's like, okay, like, I can see again, you have sense or whatever. So it is huge financial.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. And like you said, like, the mental stability, all of it ties in together. Emotional, all of those things come together. It's not just only money. Yeah. But having the transparency and being able to discuss it. Yeah. It definitely is good.
Yeah, because people are definitely in different stages.
Yeah, but definitely don't hide it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we find out after, it's like, yo, you could have just been transparent. Instead, now I know you're living at your mom's house and, like, this and that. Like, just be transparent. Yeah. Because everybody can understand hard times are hard times.
But just be honest.
Exactly. Yeah. And you have to try and sneak into the basement. Like, you know, those are the old school stories. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, yes, even if you live at home, granted, and we may not have a place to chill, for example, at least if you have the stability and finances to, again, we can go to the, like, dinner, we can go to the movies, like, so we could still go places where we have that alone time versus now we just walk the street, you know, because we have to be outside.
Like, when you're in high school.
When you're in high school, you have to go to the mall and
or
walk
just
around.
Chill in the car.
Yeah, it's like, okay, and it's not even your car, it's my car, so I drive there for you to sit in my car and, like, you know, it's like, okay, it's different if at least, again, you're open, you have that transparency. Because I personally
Yeah.
don't mind it. I can
Yeah.
work with it as long as I know you definitely are going and having a plan. How do you balance being guarded and protecting yourself, especially when it comes to people, ghosting you or not being clear on their expectations or just kind of acting whack? Like, how do you
How do I
balance being too self-protected and like not being open up to everybody you meet
like
because
not
of
allowing those
those
situations?
situations to like cause you to
I mean,
shut
that's
down?
a good question. I think, it can be easy to put your guards up, especially if you have a situation where you've been ghosted or you feel like you've poured too much in and they're not reciprocating. Like, so yeah, it definitely can make the guards go up.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, I try my best. Like, first, I take time to heal. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I have to ask myself, okay, like, why do I feel this way? Or, why do, like, just kind of self-reflecting, like you said, like, how can I, prevent that from happening again, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, I would say, like, not letting it stop me from trying. Like, take a minute if I need a minute, but then still, in a sense, like, get back on the bike, get back on the horse, you know what I'm saying? Like, and still continue to try and put myself out there. Because it's like, I don't want one situation to stop me from potentially meeting my husband in the future because I let one situation, like, affect me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's easy for me to fall into that space of like protecting myself because like as soon as you find somebody, you get to know them, you're getting a little vibe, you start to open up and then they ghost you or they stop communicating. It's like, I don't want to keep doing the same and like keep opening up. Even if it's somebody I feel like, okay, actually deserves me being open up.
Okay.
It's hard for me to like let go because I'm like, well, it happened last time or happened the last 2 times. Like, how do I know it's not going to happen again? And like, I actually was just thinking about that this morning. And God was like showing me, if you were able to give it to Tom, Dick, and Harry freely, yes, they ghosted you. Like, just whatever, like being open, being vulnerable, being chatty, like sharing things. Like, and yes, it didn't work out. It's like, what's the harm of giving it to Jack, who actually is like showing the intention and showing like, it's already out there in the sense like you already done it. Like, so what's the harm in doing it again?
Yeah.
So he kind of reminded me, it was like, it's okay if it happens, but still give it because you never know which seed it will actually like hit,
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, that's true. Like, I don't want to stay too guarded. Like, let me just be open. Let me just like enjoy the moment, enjoy getting to know that person because you never know where it can go versus me being guarded and protected and actually ruining something that God intended to go further.
And I think too, like even to tie onto that, like don't give what you can't afford to give.
That's fair too.
You know what I'm saying? Like don't give what you can't get back. And the reality of it is, it's like sometimes we're giving as people, like whether it's a guy or the girl, giving too much and pouring out so much energy on this one person that we really, really, really want.
Yeah.
And that person's not serious about life. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have to be wise.
Yeah.
Give what you can afford to give so that you don't feel hurt or affected if the person can't give it back to you. You know what I mean?
And I think to your point, a lot of those people, we shared parts of ourselves where, we were trying to open up or whatever. There was signs, there was red flags, there was things that were telling you like, don't do it,
And sometimes there isn't.
Sometimes
and
there
they
isn't.
Just, whatever happens in their life, them just have to just ghost or they have to whatever part ways.
Sometimes
we
is
don't
the case.
know, you know what I mean?
But I find sometimes it is the case where it's like, you may see those things, but because you really think this person is attractive or you really had a crush on them or whatever, you're now doing the most to think like that's going to make them stay. And then now when it doesn't work out, you shut down for the actual good guy who's actually trying to like get to know you. So that's why I'm like, when I look back, if I actually reflect, it's like, you know what, I was doing the most. And now I'm mad, like, why is this person doing that? When it's like they showed you who they were.
Exactly.
I just didn't believe them.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think as I progress, I'm just trying to be more open.
Yeah.
And again, being wise, like you don't have to tell your whole life story.
Exactly.
But if you're in a deep conversation, you guys are both sharing, it's like, don't now just shut it up and like not say nothing because you're afraid. Like, be open,
Exactly.
So, yeah. All right. That's all my questions for part 2.
Okay, that's it. That's okay. I mean, it's good because we were able to dive in a lot more deeper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And really even like allowing us to reflect on how we want to progress going forward too. So I think the questions are definitely really good and we definitely appreciate you guys for shooting them out and asking us to bring them up on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yes.
Continue to share your questions, share your comments. We want to hear your dating experiences.
Yeah.
Like, we know it's a big topic and we're taking you guys on this journey as we go through the dating seen. But let us know what you guys think.
Yes, and continue to be wise out there. At the end of the day, trusting in God in every step you make. If you don't believe, you know what I mean, try your best to at least just take your time and get to know the person. But for those who do believe, trust in God, continue to incorporate him into every step when it comes to dating. And, don't ignore the red flags.
Yes.
Yes.
Look for the green flags.
Exactly.
Like this greenery behind us. Because
Exactly.
remember,
Lush
if you
life.
don't have a lush mind, you won't have a lush life.
And that's facts.
Yeah. See you next week.
Bye.